Next up we have Jilliana. Can we have a round of applause for Jilliana? Brilliant wordsmith and storyteller.
They're all true.
They are.
Yeah. Right, I'm Jilliana Ranicar-Breese and I'm a memorist. I tell true stories, even though sometimes they don't appear true, but they are. This one is called Up and Down. I thought I was in love with my Italian lover, a handsome man with an aquiline nose of 69 in 2013, who looked 10 years younger without a single grey hair and all his teeth. I was blind to his zillions of faults, like his financial and spiritual meanness, his loathing of Italians, how he despised the arrogant French and too many Muslims in Turkey, so he wouldn't go there. Despite speaking Italian, he never once complimented me on my advanced Italian conversation, only speaking to me twice in Italian on the phone when I was away in Rome. Franco mentally abused me, putting me down, asking why I had let myself go after having seen a black and white sexy photo of me, commenting that I looked like Raquel Welch and how we could have had children together had we met in the 1960s. One evening, he arrived at my flat and, as usual, took off his shoes and sat at my computer watching porno to get himself into the mood for sex. A frustrated, impotent man who refused to see a doctor or take the Viagra I had bought for him. But to me, he was so good looking, with a beautiful body and silky skin I loved to touch. He was unaffectionate too, certainly not a passionate Romeo, but a cold intellectual from Verona. What the hell was I doing with a man who slept with not one, but three duvets at night, and even went, this is ridiculous, and even went down the bottom of the bed to face the other way. Oh, God. A man who sat at my computer screen in front of an excellent photo I had taken of him in Amsterdam and spoke to his own image, saying, "I am good looking," to which I commented, "On the outside, but not on the inside." Silence was his reply. He knew deep down what an insincere, narcissistic, still can't get it right. Anyway, narcissistic shit he was. Yes. At my suggestion and expense, we had a long weekend in Amsterdam, even visiting the interesting sex museum. I had my photo taken sitting in a gigantic phallic wooden carved seat and ran my fingers over bronze peni. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Peni or penises, I'm not quite sure. In the shape of a freestanding bronze sculpture chalice. He seemed to blame me for being impotent. I suggested we looked for a slim blonde, not tarty looking prostitute in the famous red light district and see if he could get it up for her. It was a warm, balmy Saturday evening and the district was chock-a-block with punters and tourists all looking for pussy. No.
Jilliana!
What did I say? I mean, this is the red light district after all.
Yeah.
No men in the windows for us ladies. A few obviously outrageous Latino transvestites completed the picture in the windows. The women were all vulgar, scantily dressed in iridescent garish underwear or bikinis, sitting or gyrating in the neon-lit windows. You obviously haven't been, Roger.
I've been twice.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Great description.
Most looked like they came from Eastern Europe. looking hungry and not, in my forensic opinion, sexy. Then I saw her in the window. Franco's fantasy woman was young, blonde, and slender like a gazelle. In fact, he wanted me running like a gazelle, despite having water retention in my legs. I was a middle-aged, Rubenesque hippo with dyed medium-length amber hair parted in the middle and not a Twiggy look-alike. Franco would sit for hours transposing blonde film star hairstyles onto my photographic facial features, even asking me to cut my locks and go blonde. Pathetically showing my vulnerability, I asked him if he would love me more if I were a blonde, but he declined to answer. He considered me an alpha woman, loving my mind, so he said, but not my curvaceous, well-endowed body. He wanted me to lose weight and engage a personal trainer. She didn't look a slut. In fact, she was natural with good skin, possibly about 30, with a charming smile and good teeth, and turned out to be Russian. She opened the glass door to inveigle him in to sample her wares. "Franco, come over here," she cooed, beckoning him over. "How much?" I demanded, as I was his minder that evening. €40. Front or back? "No, just a handle blowjob. You can watch if you want." "How long for?" 20 minutes. "But it's only going to take him 10 to come. What are you doing for the rest of the time?" I asked. "I dance with feathers," she smiled knowingly, lowering her eyes. Franco got cold feet, or should I say cold... and moved away with his tail or useless cock between his legs. Her smile vanished instantly, shutting the glass door rapidly as there was no sale, and she had wasted her valuable sexual time. Time is money, after all, in the oldest profession. We moved on and sat on a canal bench, wondering what to do next. We had already looked at displays of sex toys, vibrators and dildos in a couple of sex shops to no avail. I suggested a live sex show. He agreed, in desperation, and so we wasted, or rather I wasted, €50 on entrance, including 2 beers, on a mechanical sex show on stage with 4 couples, in, out, shake it all about, so boring and so non-erotic. All in all, we had an interesting weekend until he irritably snapped when I couldn't keep up with his fast walking pace. That made me cry. And later, back in Brighton, he mumbled, "What a shame the Russian hadn't shown me what to do so I would be more experienced on the job." "Do you realise what you've just said to me?" I said, astonished at his cruelty. "Yes, a shame you didn't watch her," he retorted. Franco had to go. I'd had enough of his snarky insults. I cut my hair and went blonde in the front, and he never saw my metamorphosis. Yes, he was right. I look more attractive as a blonde. I've been a blonde ever since. That was in the spring of 2013, and I have avoided him, but unfortunately our paths have crossed 4 times in Brighton. He scurries away like the rat that he is. However, I still ask myself the lingering question, would it have been up for her? Now, that was written on the train on the 17th of August. After hearing the sexploits of a best-selling author who inspired me to write that vignette. And this is the epilogue. My life continues to be synchronistic. On Saturday night, I met a new friend, Lydia, for dinner. She was fascinated by my headgear and wanted to know why I chose to cover my head with a bejewelled turban, and asked me if in fact I had hair. This conversation took place as we walked towards our chosen restaurant, Lemongrass, in Brighton. I told her in vivid detail about the mental abuse, Franco's impotency, and the Russian prostitute in Amsterdam. Suddenly she suggested we took a bus for the just one stop. I continued on, explaining as we went to sit on the bus that it was because of Franco wanting me to go blonde. I thus pointed to the smirking man sitting opposite us on the bus. We had acknowledged each other silently with our eyes. We knew. That's the very man I whispered in Lydia's ear. Shall I read the other one?
Is it long?
Well, it's
We've got a lot.
kind of about the same thing.
We've got a lot of people to get through.
Well, maybe
Can we
a
leave it
quick,
till next?
Okay, next time.
Next time, is that all right?
Yeah.
Thanks a
no
lot. A
problem.
round of applause to Jilliana.
Thank you.
Right, next.